Yeah.
That right.
Yo. What up, man? It's in the booth. It's your boy Messenja.
I'm CantonJones.
Ramona Estelle Jones.
GCS. That right.
Yeah.
Everything came together in the booth. Years later, and we still in the booth. Do a podcast with the interview. Can't even stop what we finna do. Got a resume, longer than a limousine. Then we got something for the king, something for the queen. Yeah, we got a winning team, by the thing. Then we got a by the boom, by the beat.
You know what it is when we in the booth. Speak it to the old, speak it to the youth. And no matter what, we gon' tell the truth. Same time harvest, you gon' see the fruit. Put the kid tank, gotta pull it from the roots. Get the blessing, get the bag, get the loot. Find another way, put the game, get the recruit. You now locked in with CantonJones and Messenja in the booth podcast.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us in the booth today. Please like, share, and subscribe to the show on Facebook, YouTube, and all podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts.
That right.
No.
Hey, make sure if you want to sponsor or advertise with the show, just hit us up at intheboothpod at gmail.com. And after you do that, just go to eventbrite.com and make sure that you secure a seat for the Kingdom Generation Kingdom Generation Kingdom Generation Conference 2022 going down on August the 20th. That would be Saturday, people. So make sure you grab your seat. Again, if you're out of town, can't make it in, we're trying to work on a streaming situation. We'll let you know in a couple of days if we'll be able to get you that link. But everybody else, get in the building.
Get in the building, man. It's gonna be awesome, life changing. Yep. Also, September 2nd, it goes up.
Yeah.
Jazz and Jokes, man.
That
Jazz
right.
and Jokes. Make sure y'all get your seats right now. We got food, a food option as well.
Eventbrite.
Great music. We got some phenomenal comics. I mean, if y'all follow us online, you know, you'll see us put up a couple clips of our former shows, man. And so get in on this one. It's going to be super, super crazy. All right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's get it. We got a tough topic.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know everybody here is smacking, so today we're being sponsored by Smart Food.
The world's largest Guinness Book
But it
World
takes care
Record
of everybody.
white
right.
cheddar popcorn.
And it's delicious. So thank you, Smart Food.
All right. The question for today is, I know a lot of people will be chiming in, but do choirs or music departments attract gay men?
Okay.
And so attract is one way. Sometimes the culture is a place where they are accepted more, especially in the African American church. The women are by numbers, it's more populated by women than men, and so in those settings, men are more accepted. Who are effeminate, they participate more. Man, one thing that I know about men, we want to be involved, and so most churches, men just don't want to sit in the audience and listen. You got the deacon, somebody got the keys, somebody opening the door,
Moving chairs, sweeping something.
Somebody playing, keys, drums, bass, something they, security.
Yeah.
Men like to do something. And so most guys who are gay, they can participate in the choir, by numbers. You can come in, it's a social place. It's not a lot of pressure on them to change in the musical setting. And so especially that, this is just through my experience in the African American church, even younger, we sang in the choir. And it wasn't a lot of effeminate guys. It was some, but not a lot. There were more masculine guys that participated when I was younger. Guys singing them songs. Hallelujah, salvation, glory.
Yeah, right.
You know, we used to sing those songs. Nowadays, you can't find a lot of guys who you would see playing ball or just masculine guys are participating in the music department if they are not playing an instrument. But as far as singing, it's very, very few.
Why do you think that changed?
And I don't want to say that a guy who is singing is gay or effeminate, but it's just the appearance of how it looks at times to other people, other more masculine men.
So you think because more effeminate men joined the choir, that's what ran them off?
I don't want to say that ran them off. I say that they just became less interested.
Ran them off?
With the rise of not ran them off. When you talking about hip hop, when it comes to hip hop, like singing, a singing man, the male sound is as far as singing is rare to none. It doesn't exist as far as a singing male. So you're talking about hip hop. How long has hip hop had the grasp on pop culture as far as in the African American community? You're talking about some 30 years.
Yeah, at least 30 years.
You know what I'm saying? Where the respect and popularity of singing men, Boys to Men, Jodeci, Commission, Winans, that sound does not exist in the church. Quartet music, that's why I really, y'all laugh at me about doing quartet, but quartet is like the last of the Mohegans to hold down male singing when it comes to kingdom and Christianity. They're the last ones to be, men singing together, from a place of masculinity. And I feel like if a kid grow up, let's say his dad's not there, and he grow up and goes to a church, his mom worshiping God the best she know how, trying to raise him the best she know how, and she's there for him, and he raised up, and mom is the person that takes him to worship. If he's seeing mom worship, and he never really see men worship, and he only see mom worship, if he wants to have intimacy with God himself, he's probably going to feel like, I guess I have to do that. I guess I have to sing like that. I've seen masculine men come in and try to rap, and I've seen how y'all look at them. So maybe, now you're talking about a person that hasn't really gotten a relationship with God. He's just doing it based off the culture first. That's how all kids learn in the culture first, and then they get education later, and they get relationship with God a little later. So he's looking at mom worship, and he's looking at grandma worship and all these women, because our churches are dominated by women. And, and that's the response. I praise dance. I get a good response, a hallelujah. They rap, they get crickets, So the culture of what everybody has been cheering for, every time I do something like this, I get a good response. You know what I'm saying? So he grows up in that. So he feels like this is the way. You know what I'm saying? And if the church sign off on it, one thing about getting approval, that you feel like you're getting approved by God, you're stronger in it. You're stronger in it. So nobody's telling these guys as kids that's being raised by mom in a culture that women dominate that, bro, you need to act like a man. She can't teach him how to act like a man. So who is? And even in church, who's going? So they call it church. That's church. There was a comment made by Ernest Pugh about the Stellar Awards, and he said, it seems like the Stellar Awards is now the Gospel Hip Hop Awards.
Yeah, I heard.
Because they have gotten away from true worship or true singing or true and now they probably have to appease their what he said
ratings.
Their ratings,
yes,
or their sponsors, and not knowing how a lot of guys feel
For years.
when those choirs and stuff be up there.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now he's kind of feeling like
How
we've
they
been feeling.
For
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Like
That
you
right.
know, I guess y'all doing this for rating because or whatever, because there's a sound, and there are men that are extremely talented. That are effeminate men that are at the head of the line when it comes to gospel music. They're extremely talented. They write amazing music. They are amazing at their craft, but they're effeminate. They might not say out loud that they're effeminate, but they're effeminate men, and they run the gospel music industry, and they've run it for years. So some I respect them. I respect their gift. When you get in there and you look at how detailed they are at what they do, you marvel at it. A lot of us, who are into hip hop and who are more masculine men, when you grow up without a father, let me say this real quick. When you grow up without a father, it's very hard to stay in the middle of the spectrum where you're balanced. Most of the time, you're gonna be super angry or you're gonna be super effeminate. You're gonna be on one side. You're gonna try to compensate somewhere here or compensate somewhere there. It's very hard to have a balance because you don't have the balance of mom and dad in the house. So sometimes when people are doing the best, God's been on me about how I see this, and He says that you got to reevaluate, because if they are in church, some of these women kept the church going on when all men were locked up. Left the church. If it wasn't for my mom for a period of time, my dad wasn't doing church because it wasn't for him. It was no place for him to serve. They frowned on quartet music like they frowned on rap music. Mm-hmm. And so in that setting, he left. Now they called it sin because he left, but he ain't have no spot. Nowhere to serve, nowhere to sing. He can go nowhere in church, and especially in CAJO, you can't go nowhere and you can't do that in CAJO church. You know what I'm saying?
Bacardi 3.
Yeah. All right. So gay men or guys who are effeminate who go and serve, they have space. Now, here's my thing. Who is there to give the example of what to do? Who's going to pastor them? Who's going to be the father that was missing? Who's going to be the men group? I know we do small groups here at the church. A lot of churches don't do small groups. Their small group is choir rehearsal. So they flock to each other, and a lot of them, they're bold about being effeminate. You know what I'm saying? And so the culture invites each other. So I feel like I got an idea of doing hip hop music with choirs, mixing the culture, treading on what my saying is right now. I'm treading on awkward.
Awkward, yeah.
I'm walking in the awkward, because most of the times there was an effeminate person that came to one of the services that we did and came on stage with a bunch of rappers and cats from the hood, and they vacated that mud like it was a fire.
Yeah.
So how do we create a culture to help and not harm?
Now, based on what you just said, do you think based on what you just said, do you feel like if you incorporated hip hop and the choir music, that they wouldn't do the same thing? You don't feel like the hip hoppers would be like, nah, man, I ain't gonna be on stage with.
I think this generation is they don't care about gay like the last generation. They don't care about it as much. It's a little bit more normal to them to see it because it's just been out there so strong. So doing music with them is just art. But I feel like if the relationship was built, because there's isolation. Like you bring a bunch of gay men. I'm talking about people who call themselves men of God, Christian men. I ain't talking. I'm not talking about people who don't call themselves Christian men.
Right.
I'm talking about Christian men. I'm talking about they go to churches that pastors will preach. If they had to preach against homosexuality, they will preach against homosexuality. So I'm talking about believers. I'm not talking about somebody that go to a gay church. I'm not talking about that. So if we put a bunch of them and a bunch of rappers, a bunch of choir men and a bunch of rappers in a room together, that room is awkward.
Very.
That room is super awkward, and I'm treading on awkward. So I'm like, okay, hey, bro, all right. Y'all obviously don't know us. We don't know y'all. Let's get to know each other, and not in no type of weird way. Because if it gets weird, there's a fight gonna break out.
And I think that's what it is, bro. Because I done been with you when we done rocked out shows, and I've seen that. But when we walk in as men, they straighten up because it's like, I guess they feel like they have to, but that's very awkward because, like you just said, if you put all of them people in the room together, I think it could go well, but at the same time, I think as heterosexual men, the men like is this dude finna try to hit on me? Like
that's a fear. That's a fear.
Weird.
When you come in love, all of that goes away. The Bible says, "Perfect love casts out fear." All of that go away when you come in love. When you see a person in love with the love of God lens, you know you can look at people with cancer, AIDS. You can look at people who drunk. When you start, you see a drunk person drunk. You might have your thoughts at first, and he start telling this story. Man, I lost my wife, I lost my job, and your judgment immediately starts turning into love, and now you want to do something about it. So a lot of times, ignorance, which means what we don't know about each other, breeds mistrust, which means I don't trust you because I don't know you. So I feel like when we get in a place, this is no different than any difference. Black, white, black men, police, anything. We haven't spent enough time with one another. So now you're talking about black on black, like black men against black men who supposedly love God, won't mess with each other at all for the shortcomings. You know, everybody got shortcomings. Theirs might just be this, you know, and in their mind, they might feel like God is okay with that. If that's them, then that's fine. That's fine. You deal with God on that.
The thing, I think the question being, do they gravitate in that direction? I look at it from a different dynamic. Like, why don't they gravitate towards the deacon board?
That's what I was going to ask.
Like, they don't gravitate towards the deacon board. They don't gravitate towards the minister alliance
or the security
elders,
department or
security or anything like that.
Because those are all masculine.
Yeah, but not just that. This is the dynamic I'm looking at it from is choir is performance.
Mm-hmm. And they always like to be in the spotlight.
Yeah, it's spotlight.
Does that tie into motive?
It shines on where me, and when you know when a gay person walk in the room. But watch this.
Ahead,
you know when a gay person walk in the room, it's flamboyant. It's look at me and
not all of them,
bro.
Not all of them.
Not all of them,
Yeah.
but most of them. But most of them do. They do certain things to get a certain reaction.
Here's my question.
Like they'll intentionally put on makeup just to get a reaction.
Well, here's my question to that, and you might be right about the reaction part, because I know that a lot of times when they're ignored,
yeah, they want that.
Don't have like I said, don't have a father, mom is at work, or they, when I put on football helmet, mama don't want to play with me, but when I put on makeup, she laugh, and I get a bigger reaction out of her than I did when I tried to do something masculine. I understand that, but when you said that they gravitate to the choir simply for performance, my question is, those men who sing, who are masculine, who don't serve God with their gift when they have one because they don't want to be in the choir. Or the first thing the first thing when I rededicated, right after I broke down crying in West Georgia with y'all, rapping No Weapon, and I did Traffic Jam. Mm-hmm. That was my second gospel concert because I did the one with Armed and Dangerous with Chris Dunn at that church when Chris sang Delivered. I broke down crying. And the second one I did with y'all. The first thing that God told me to do when I rededicated was go get in the choir. I had braids, my book bag, and I'm like, choir? Nah, I had sang in the Morehouse College Glee Club, all men, some gay, some masculine, some whatever, but we traveled and we sang and we made a presentation of oneness.
So why you didn't want to sing in the choir?
Why did I want to sing the choir?
Why did you be like, what was your disposition like choir?
Because I was thinking about choir.
Church choir.
No,
church choir.
Not
different.
College choir. Now I'm talking about church choir. Like, man, getting up here. I haven't done this since I was a kid. Like, and I was thinking about the swag in it. Just how it looked. Like Morehouse, bro, we had all the blazers. We standing like that junk looked dope. It still looked dope. Like I love it.
Not choir robes.
It ain't choir robes. We like an army, and that sound that comes out, shout out to David Morrow, is amazing and always have been. So I saw the swag in that. We walking in.
Glee Club is a class at Morehouse?
No, it's
it was a choir of men.
You just come and some people do it as a
it's no credits,
but it's not. It's
just they got.
It's called a labor of love.
Hey, y'all was still singing gospel music.
We were singing all God music, all God
spirituals,
all spirituals,
stuff like that.
and the sound, bruh. If I take you to one of the Glee Club rehearsals, you'll get chills because of the sound of a bunch of guys from different places around the world, or definitely the country, coming and singing this music with all of these intricate harmonies. It is something that changed. When I almost cried the first day I was there because of the sound was so amazing. So that to church choir, I was like, boom. But I thought, my days of Jay Black, I was thugging back then, and my lips and gums were starting to turn black, and I wasn't even smoking weed. I was just around folks who smoking. It was weird. It was crazy. But so I felt like I was too cool for that. Now check this out. And this is a funny story. First day, I'm in the choir. All right, I got my book bag on because I never go anywhere without my drives and all my discs and all my CDs and stuff that I had. I just never went anywhere without them. So I had my book bag with me. Me and Mona, we are weeks married. Not even months. We weeks married.
Yep.
I get in the choir. One dude, a literal tambourine player, in the choir. All right? So the choir director, real dude, and there's a lot of real dudes around there because I scanned that, All right, real dude. Say, hey, man, give a hug to a couple people you don't know. So you got altos, sopranos, you got all these.
Are you laughing
around.
already?
Stupid, bro.
You don't even know what's gonna happen. You laughing.
I can see this coming a mile away.
So I'm hugging. How you doing? Great to see you. But I stick out like a sore thumb. I'm the youngest guy there. Me and Mona, we're the youngest, and I got on braids, and I look like I fit the description. So man, the dude come up to me, and hug me.
The tambourine player.
Yeah.
He hugged you too tight.
He hugged me, and he put
His chin in that pocket.
His chin
He put that chin in that pocket.
in my look. That just put the chin right here, bro.
You see Jay by that, that's weird. That feel weird.
So
just you saying that jump.
So I pulled back, and an older guy grabbed me and hugged me hard too. That joker hugged me because he was an ex-army dude. But he had saw what happened. He saw my reaction. And so the enemy almost attacked me to make me miss
The assignment.
what I was, because going to the choir is, I could trace that to me being here right now.
Yeah.
So I was getting ready to be, I'm done. I'm
Right
done.
back to Jay Black.
I was about to be done. But God told me to get in the choir, and then that led to the next thing, the next thing. But I was almost out. That was the first day. So if there are some guys that don't want to be in the choir because of what they think is going on in the choir, but they want to sing.
Yep.
There are masculine guys that want to sing, but they stay away from it. And what I'm saying is, as black men, as musicians, we need to, get into a room of awkwardness, where everybody's around, and those guys, because the trip about it is they can't really come out and say that they're gay as gospel singers because, they can't really say that. But they're effeminate. You can see it. It's obvious. And then to women, it doesn't bother them. It doesn't bother. And the black church is predominantly women.
To me, that feeds it too. Because when you got women,
the women
agree with it, and then you see a woman.
Yeah.
But a woman,
like girl, you calling them girl and hun, like that. But look, a woman can only be a woman. The only person that's gonna mash up that and change that is a man, and the men are not in church. So thus our problem. They're not there. 13 to 30 is definitely not there. But by the time you get to be, go back in the church, you got your wife and your kids who are younger, you see it and you can just tolerate it. But by that age, we tolerate a lot of things. We tolerate singing out of our culture, songs, worship songs out of our culture. We learn them. At first we didn't like them, and now we love them because we learn how to tolerate them and learn the song, and now you like it. At first when I heard songs like Hillsong, at first I was like, man, what's this? What happened to work it out? Are you gonna pay your rent? Work it out. I'm like, what's this?
Baby need a pair of shoes.
I didn't like Hillsong at first, but now I love it. And it's a learn.
Yeah,
it's something to learn.
You
see what I'm
learn.
saying? So there is no the male sound as far as singing in the African American church is gone. The only thing that's there, all male, is quartet. Quartet. That's as
far as singing.
As far as singing.
Yeah.
Now you got rap, which is super masculine.
And I think that's another dynamic too. Is that once gospel rap came in, the harder, more street guys gravitated towards that and were like, okay, well, I got that option. They ain't got to go up there in that choir.
But it was never accepted in church. So if you're talking about,
it was there.
But it wasn't in church.
Yeah,
it wasn't in church. So therefore, if you're rapping, you have to find your worship somewhere outside of church because it's not accepted inside of church. Only singing, choirs, praise and worship. And all of that.
Back then.
Now, Free Life is the only one that do it on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean.
There are no churches that do rap on Sundays. If you you can find one. Yeah, it could be Youth Sunday, or it could be.
Which is once a year.
Outreach Sunday.
Yeah.
Which is once a year.
Yeah, but there is no church that I know of on the planet that every Sunday is presenting hip hop.
Yep.
Nobody but Free Life.
Yeah.
So if hip hop is the voice of the generation and definitely the sound of the African American male 13 to 30, I mean, of course everybody else, but it's definitely our sound, and you're not using it for worship, then what you expect them to do? Yeah. So at this point, you only have guys who want to be involved, who want to sing. You got to go to the choir. It's almost like it's on lock, bro. It's like there's nothing else you could do. So it's not necessarily an attraction. It's a takeover. There is nothing you can do. There are no choices to be involved. If you want to do music, you got to come on over here. Cause rap is not accepted nowhere except Free Life on Sundays. Y'all get that? Free Life.
Free Life
on Sunday.
Right.
All right. But on Sunday morning, tell me where can you go to get a worship that is relevant in this culture, that is not borrowed from other cultures? Where can you go to get a worship that feels like
what you listen through the week?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
With
That what
God
you,
in it.
Right. What you listen to the week and what you pull up the church and turn off.
Right.
To go in the church.
Get out the culture.
To get into another culture for 2 hours.
To come
leave,
out.
To come back into your culture.
Exactly.
Or like we used to do when we had to wear a suit. You know, you go, put that suit on. As soon as you get out of it, man, get me out of this. Bring my J's back, my jeans. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we find God in our culture? And that is the challenge right now. Not even the challenge, that's just what we're doing so boldly at Free Life, is putting God in the middle of the culture.
That's right.
Because, you know, even when you sing on Sunday, you're not riding to that music during the week. Some people are, I'm not saying that.
Sometimes you do.
But most people indulge, especially black people, indulge in pop culture, which a comedian told me last night that, you know, when the churches shut down for the pandemics, a lot of the, you know, mainstream clubs, comedy clubs, didn't shut down. So he's like, I just went over there and started doing my stuff there. And what he said, and what I found was most
The
of
church
the people,
people.
most of the church people,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
were the people in the mainstream club.
Yeah.
And so,
that's funny to me. That dynamic right there is funny to me because people, when they come to church and they looking for perfect people, like, that's why I don't go to church.
Yeah.
I like the people you go to church with is the coworker
People you
that you
close
hate.
with. Right.
Or the boss you don't stand. They go to they're there. The people you don't like out here, they go to church.
Yeah.
Right.
And you just run into them. So where are these perfect people that are nowhere in society that's supposed to be in church?
They
waiting
don't
on
exist,
you?
yeah.
Like,
they don't.
Because they,
they
made church fake.
Yeah.
They made it fake. They made it this real.
That's what I said. Is that you try to present a perfect package, and it doesn't exist.
It's just, if you keep it real, you know, I preach from where I'm from a lot of
You
times.
have to do that.
But that's what it is, though. It's the fakeness of it. You know what I mean? It's the fakeness of it. And I think that's why a lot of men don't. I think that's why a lot of men don't want to come to church too, because they looking at it like that dude don't look like me. That dude
absolutely.
don't talk like me. That dude
It's
don't act like me.
absolutely.
That's fake.
And they're looking for
They looking for somebody that look like them.
But that ain't just black men. That's not just a black man thing. That's an everybody thing.
That's a culture.
Everybody is looking for a
themselves.
culture for the, you know. That's why
I brought a dude,
but what we don't have is outlets.
Yeah.
You know,
There are no churches that swag like us.
Yeah, you don't remember Blake, a dude I used to work with in
Blake?
No. Goofy.
Blake. But I brought him to church, and he never really been to church. I think maybe for like a funeral or something like that, and a wedding. But he didn't grow up in church or whatever. And bruh, I bent one corner to tell somebody, hey, bro, don't leave me, bro, don't leave me. Like he was just that felt that out of place.
You took him what church? Freedom?
My church, my church.
Oh, you took him to
yeah,
Kojic church.
Yeah, Kojic church.
Yeah.
But he was just standing there kind of on the wall or whatever, you know, and he was like, I mean, he was scared of me just 10 feet away. It was like that weird and that different
it's
just
such
to walk in the church.
it
It's a
is.
culture.
What did Jerome do when you
Yeah.
brought him church?
A coach. Oh, bro. I went to my Uncle Al church. Shout out to Uncle Al. Not showers of blessings. My daddy church.
Victor.
No, showers of blessings. But anyway, I forgot Uncle Al church name. But anyway, so I was there to celebrate my aunt, and the power of God broke out in the church, and Jerome was my security. You know, I had security. And you know, security is required to stay strapped. You know, ain't no need for you to be security and you ain't got no.
Yeah.
You know, so he was strapped, and we had somewhere else to go after that. So we were dressed, and the power of God broke out in the church, and this lady got up shouting, and she was shouting next to the wall, so it looked like somebody was getting wrestled. It was like, shoot, and she was like, thank you, and that joker went for his gun. I was like, bruh, no, bruh, this worship, like this church for them. He was like, "Oh, bro, I thought something happened, bro." He thought somebody was back there beating the lady, or something happened that he was finna go back there with it. I was like, "Bro, no." It was a culture shock. So it is for people to. Oh, she was beating that wall down. That mother just like she was wrestling, and I get it. And so I feel like guys who have. Who are gay or effeminate, and those who are super masculine or whatever, rappers and whatever. I think we need to get in a room and do music. I think we need to tread on awkward. I think we need to, because you never know how somebody came to a place. You got people that are effeminate or gay, and then you got the other side. Everybody been locked up.
Yeah.
So they can say at least we ain't been locked up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so much judgment, so much judgment. And I think if we did music together, that we can bring a balance to our community. I just feel like we can through the sound. Now
they gonna have to sing masculine
based off the look on your face. You ain't even coming to the room.
I'm just saying. Are they gonna sing the same way? Is it going the presentation? What are you gonna present?
Once they sing, they sing. They sing. They ain't gonna grab your butt.
No, I'm just saying. Are they gonna put the nest of their chin in my neck?
I think we should have a conversation with a guy who's willing to speak from a place where effeminate men, like effeminate men or gay men. I don't know who's willing to talk from the place of being a gay man and who's a worshiper and love God, but who's gay and kind of bring us some understanding of how can we work together. You know what I'm saying? Because we are the ones that be like.
What's his name already put out there, didn't he?
Huh?
Who was that?
Tony? Didn't he already put that out?
Tony?
Put out what?
I mean, I know Tony, I've heard that he was, and then I heard that he wasn't. Yeah. So I mean, so somebody who's willing to just come from a place to give some understanding, so that we, because there are certain people that struggle with certain things that's trying to get free. There are certain people that struggle with certain things who are not trying.
Yeah, but we're talking about somebody who's open. About it. So,
but I'm saying just from a musical standpoint, where you are, because there are a lot of us, and I know you can sign off on this, that are willing to do music with mainstream people than they would with somebody that sing gospel that's effeminate. Yeah. So I'm saying, why not sing with a man of God, even though y'all might differ on certain things, than somebody that don't even sign off on God or believe in God. You know what I'm saying? There are people that are willing to do that. So what I'm saying is, that's why I say I'm treading on awkward. Because the only way you can change something is you got to go in. You got to tread on awkward. That's the only way you can change it. If not, we're gonna keep complaining about it, but we're gonna stay away from each other. And most guys think that, if you're around somebody, then they're gonna take a picture of you real quick. Shh, oh, y'all together. No, it ain't happening like that. Plus, I am very confident in who I am as a man of God. I'm a woman of God. I got kids. I ain't got no down low life nowhere. All right. So I feel like revival is here. Yeah. I feel like you can't expect somebody to come out of something if you're not willing to pray, to love them, to show them a better way. And so I feel like rappers and choir guys should come together.
Let's do it.
That's just my suggestion.
Let's do it.
Rapper choir guys.
Rapper choir guys.
I mean,
that's the name of it.
Would you do a song with a choir?
Mm-hmm.
I would.
I
have.
It just
that's what Won't He Do It is.
And it just depends, cause
that jump.
You could tell how uncomfortable Lil Baby was when he did his performance with Kirk Franklin. He just looked like he was out of it, and he didn't feel comfortable. I forgot what award show they was on, but you could just tell.
BT,
so it's but I just think it's an uncomfortable feeling.
Because
I mean, we've had situations where we had people around that like that. But at the same time,
bro, we don't been on a show where men dressed in drag had to do makeup.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you didn't even know until I was like, oh no, I ain't getting my makeup done. You know, because we didn't know. But I feel like we're in a position now that we can at least as black men, because we're the prey, P-R-E-Y in this country, and half of us in jail, others, you know, a lot of us selling dope, selling weed, trying to make ends meet, can't get a job, all that type of stuff. And then we start coming together. I mean, just based off of just being black and brothers, then I feel like we can make change. We can be stronger, you know. And so that's just my take on it, you know. Just change is necessary, and God is growing me up in this area.
Yeah.
He's grown me up in this area.
Yeah, me too.
All right, and I don't want to say, you know, there are some people that help me.
Facts.
You know, and it's to deal with this and to tolerate this, because what happens if revival does happen and people want to denounce that and come to who gonna pastor?
Yeah, are we gonna be ready?
Who gonna pastor that harvest?
Right.
We prophesying, you know, there's getting ready to be a great harvest. You know, what if it's them? You know, what if
Laborers are fruit. Few. That's what the word says.
And so who's mature enough to take the high road to say, man, look, bro, I love you, man. Like, I understand what happened. I understand that's culture. I understand you grew up in that. That's all you know. I get it. All right. Do you want to follow the will of God? Okay, you could be transformed by the renewing of your mind. All right. He keeps you in perfect peace if your mind is stayed on Him. So you just got to change your mind about a couple things. I changed my mind about how I eat. I changed my mind about different habits that I've had for years that I'm trying to break about myself, because I feel like, you know what? That's not who I am. I'm changing.
Yeah.
I'm changing. No, that's who I was. But that's not who I am. I'm changing. And so if you're going to grow up in the things of God, then it's going to always be shown how much you've grown on how you treat people. Good God Almighty from Zion. Now how you treat yourself.
How you treat people.
Yeah, when you know you grown spiritually, He gonna put a person in front of you to test you.
These are facts.
Yes.
These are facts.
Facts.
Yep. Oh, you're good. Boy, the revelation that I got in the Word. Okay, here's a person for you to try that out on.
Yeah.
And all of your revelation, all of your growth will be tested out on people.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. All right, we can move on. Top 5 places to live in the U.S. outside of ATL, Miami, Florida. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Deerfield, Florida.
I can't live in Florida. I was just talking a little about that.
I can't go back.
Cold, I just be thinking about
the hurricanes.
When we went down there, bro, all the trees was like this.
I just can't. I can't go back. Once I leave something, I can't go back.
But it ain't even that.
I can't go back.
Really?
Yeah,
you live in Jacksonville. Jacksonville is not Miami.
Yeah, but still, we was down south the whole summer. I mean, we was down south.
Yeah, you was in Pompano, bro. Yeah. Pompano is not Miami.
But I've been to Miami. I mean, my wife family from Miami, so I mean, it's not that. I mean,
First place I go is Florida. Second place I go,
man, Florida,
is probably L.A.
I don't want to be on that side of town.
Too much out there.
Yeah, and that's too hot.
At all.
From where?
Catching fire.
Like if you talking about
yes, I don't want to be.
I don't want to go back.
You talking about uprooting everything and going to another place?
Yeah.
L.A.
Nah, see, y'all done felt them earthquakes. That's different when the ground start moving.
I got authority, so I ain't worried about that.
I can't think of no place.
It's people that live through all of that, so I ain't worried about none of that.
I gotta stay in the South.
Yeah, gotta be in the South.
So all your places, look, Alabama, that's where they move. Alabama, Tuscaloosa,
it'll be like
Georgia, Macon.
From Atlanta to Macon,
Charlotte, Nashville,
outside of ATL, Macon.
DC might be as far as I go.
I just want to go to Macon. I just want to go to Rome, Georgia.
No.
Places that you want to move to in the U.S. outside of ATL. Let's go to Rome.
No, I'm good.
Rome, Georgia. I just want to go to Rome, Georgia.
No.
They ain't talking about going to doggone LA, doggone.
I'll
gas.
move to Canton.
You could,
if it was
He
outside.
said in the U.S.
He
Oh, you
said
said
if
in the
outside.
U.S. Okay, I missed that.
I go to
part.
Canada.
In the U.S. Okay, in the U.S. outside
Yeah, that's the
Atlanta.
case. Yeah, I'm going anywhere.
If my mind shot straight to Canada, it really ain't
Go
no
to Jamaica. Yeah.
The United States on that bull.
Top 5 for me is
All Florida, huh?
Orlando is 1.
No, he back in Florida.
Orlando.
all Florida.
Orlando. If the Lord say move,
go to
Orlando would be the first one I go to.
I don't want to live in
Yeah, it's
Orlando.
too much traffic, too many people coming in.
Outside of Disneyland, I don't want to live
Orlando.
anywhere.
Yeah.
No, I'm living next to Disney World.
In a tourist
Yeah, because as soon as you leave,
I know it's like
soon as you leave,
another country.
yeah.
No,
like 10
First
miles
of all, I
out,
said
but
Kissimmee.
that was dirt, grime, ghetto.
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
That's
but
not Orlando.
In Orlando, well, next to Disney, I'm gonna want to live over there in one of them resorts, and then
Say live in a
Miami,
resort.
then
I'm good. Tampa, which is right next to Orlando.
Tampa, yeah, all in Tampa, L.A.,
Yeah, all Florida.
New York, not New York.
No, I don't want to live in New York. No.
That's it, bro.
Nope.
Nashville too small.
Virginia Beach.
Virginia, no.
It's clean.
If you live on the beach.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You
Virginia hood?
As soon as you get
I
off
know
the beach,
everything got a hood,
as soon as
but
you get off the beach, you're gonna run smack dab into Jim Crow.
okay, that's everywhere.
Carolina
No,
too, all that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
they get them hurricanes too in Virginia.
Yeah,
Orlando,
Straight from Florida.
yeah.
Miami, Tampa,
And Destin.
and Rome, Georgia. I feel like I gotta live next to something major, like a major sports place, like because it has a certain swag about it, like you gotta have at least a professional sports place for me to stay there. You know,
The only reason
San
I go to
Antonio.
Florida is golf. That's it. I can play golf year round in Florida.
So where would you go? What was your top 3?
I mean, it had to be in the South. Like
Macon.
Charlotte,
Stop saying
Nashville,
Macon.
places like that. Like just a city.
Charlotte got a basketball team.
Yeah, Nashville got the Titans. I mean, it has to be a place in the
Nashville,
South
boy.
with.
Nashville.
I mean, you got music. I don't want to go to New Orleans. It would have to be somewhere. It
don't
would have
say
to be
where you
something.
don't want to go, baby.
I mean, they always get hit with hurricanes.
We got a good New Orleans back, and we love
I'm
y'all.
talking about like the
Yes.
people. And like, I'm just
I
saying.
don't want to go to New Orleans.
They always get hit with hurricanes, right? That's a bad. That's a
bruh.
bad spot.
We
pray
speak
for
to the
y'all.
storms, yeah.
Hurricanes don't,
They
don't panic. Everything gonna be all right.
We love you. We love you.
Oh no, I think it's different.
What about Chicago?
No, I would not live in
Shout out to
Chicago.
It's different for me because
It's
like
cold,
a lot of these places
cold.
y'all naming, I done lived already, and I hated that because like Pop was in the military, so that moving kind of ruined everything for me.
So you just want to be in Atlanta? That's it.
Because when I got here, like this felt like home. I didn't have to. We weren't living in a house. We had boxes packed, and then 6 months later we had to leave again.
Top 5.
So like that was that.
My
that
top 5
irritated me.
is Marietta, Stockbridge, Stone Mountain, Lawrenceville,
Douglasville, yeah.
They're my top 5. Yeah, they're my top 5.
West End,
They are not Atlanta.
Right.
Decatur, East Point, College Park.
Yeah, I think when we moved, because I moved here from California.
Yeah.
So like it was like finally okay, I ain't gotta move no more. So that was comfortable. Cause like I hated that moving, that does something to you, especially when you're a child like that. So like Kyle said, I guess I'm gonna be in Marietta. Kind of like I don't know.
What say
God
you,
say otherwise.
YouTube and Facebook? Let us know in them comments, man. And make
right.
sure you like and share and hit that like button before you go off, man.
Homebody, man. Don't go nowhere.
Yeah, and we make
I
it.
mean, the Lord don't send me, but
You go out there and
give me
experience some other stuff. You'll like it.
I mean,
over time.
but Florida, I just don't feel like
Everything
they
is the
together
same,
in
except for Orlando.
I don't want to be in Orlando. I want to vacation in Orlando. I want to be there.
hey, it's a
The Queens come out. We got to win a team by the thing. Then we hit them with a bada boom, bada bing. There's just too many teams.
When we in the booth.
They
I mean, that's Atlanta.
Speaking to the youth.
Nah, they in Orlando.
Everybody from Atlanta ain't from
Okay,
understand that, but in Orlando, like, we was just there. When the time to eat all four places, and few people ain't never been there. They looking for places. They drive.
You like you local. You local. You move.
That's not done. I can't.
We'll see y'all tomorrow.
In the booth.